Here's what we get if Donald Trump dies. And I know everybody's like, but if Trump dies, we get Vance. Yeah, I'm okay with that. Because although everybody's like, oh, you're a Debbie Downer, here's some reality of what's going to happen when Trump is gone. 1. Ding dong, the witch is dead. People who have never popped a bottle in their entire damn lives are gonna pop a bottle. Many, many, many people have a bottle sitting in their fridge for just that moment. There's gonna be some bullshit tribute and a rewrite of history, and maybe Melania will suddenly become 8 weeks pregnant when he died 10 weeks ago, but you know. He will see the fallout of the Trump family because once we figure out who he loved in his will, they're all gonna have emotional breakdowns. What we will get is the Trump family shut out of a lot of the deals that Trump's political power gets them. Like a lot of companies and countries that have been kissing their ass right now are going to stop talking to the Trump family altogether. But they are probably going to still try to build that Schmallenstein casino because we're going to see books come out from the very least Melania and probably Tiffany. And there are sections of MAGA that if Trump doesn't die on camera, they're never going to believe it. They're going to spot him at, a sip and pick or whatever for decades to come. And if Trump happens to die on one of these weekends where he's getting treatments, the conspiracy theories will never stop. What we will get is J.D. Vance, which I don't mind because it will break up the cult of MAGA. MAGA is loyal to Trump, and without Trump's daily words, it's going to create a power vacuum. Project 2025 and those in charge still being in the White House, they will be able to control it. If Trump doesn't die for 4 years, that's a whole other shitstorm because then the struggle to not only get to his spot, but also win an election. We are 10 years from the boys who grew up under incel red pill Trump, grab him by the schmussy, starting to run for politics. We're not escaping Trump. As a matter of fact, Trump was the light end. What comes after Trump is going to be way worse. There will come a time in our history when you look back at Trump and go, wasn't so bad. The way you look back at Bush Sr. and be like, he wasn't so terrible. Dick Cheney kind of made some sense. We have a generation of boys who've grown up under Trump. They have seen what Trump did, and then they are going to take what he did and excel at it. Trump is not the worst. J.D. Vance is not beloved, so at least the cult won't happen, and Project 2025 still has a whole lot of power. So for the next 4 years, 3 years, we're going to go through ball-crushing pain, kick him in the schmushy kind of like ache, and there's no getting around it. I don't care who keeps on pretending like it will be better. It will not be better. Project 2025 has 50%, 60% launched. They are going to keep going. The pain and suffering is going to get worse and not better. And anybody who tells you otherwise is frankly just lying, so later they can come by with content being like, it's going to be better, told ya. Think of it if we changed all the laws of government and Michelle Obama was put in charge and we gave her unlimited power, like you have 6 months to do everything you do and then we bring other people back and then we start voting. 1, whoever's president after Trump is fucked because they have to spend their first year just figuring out the last 4 years of accounting and math. They have to make up for all the jobs reports that were faked, redigited. They then have to reset every passcode and structure and try to roll back all those fun rules like the Yahtzee symbol. No, that's not a protected religious symbol. They then have to try to restore faith in the US government, not only in its citizens, but internationally. Screw us once by electing Trump. We were like, well, they were misguided, or maybe they didn't know what they were getting. Screw us twice by electing Trump. There are countries that aren't going to talk to us ever again. Or if they do, we will get the shittiest end of the deal. 4 years from now, we are going to be so technologically behind and frankly stupid that countries aren't going to want to deal with us because what do we have to offer except for cheap prison labor? You then have to try to get our government restarted and hire back thousands of people, which you would also have to find funding for, and given where Trump is spending our money right now, I don't frankly think we'll have money by the time they leave. So how do you hire back thousands of FDA employees with nothing? And even if we hire back all the EPA employees and we fund and staff the EPA the way it should have been for the past 40 years, it's going to take the EPA 4 to 5 years to just study all the shit we've dumped into the soil, the water, and the air in the last year. They will eventually get around to impact studies, but by then, you'll already start coughing and your teeth are already going to start falling out. We know what happens when you take away particle limitations. You then have to convince industries like teachers and nurses, like, no, I know we dicked with your industry and we took away your accreditations and we basically made your degrees invalid, but please, new generation, come back to nursing and teaching. We promise. As long as we stay in power, we won't dick with your degree yet again. So take out those student loans. It will be fine. Who's going to do that? We have seen the US government invalidate entire industries worth of degrees. How much trust are you going to have to go back to nursing school? Pretty much none. We've also seen talent leave this country, and more talent will leave this country. The brain drain will be real. Even if you give Michelle Obama unlimited 6-month power to fix everything she can, it's a 4-year job just sorting out what the fuck happened in the previous 4 years, and that's before you get the rest of the world to like, no, we swear, this time for realsies, we won't elect a douchebag. It's gonna take 4 to 5 election cycles, 20 to 40 years before the rest of the globe looks at us like, okay. They fell off the wagon, and then they stumbled a little in recovery. They're back. In the meantime, look at how many trade deals Canada alone has been making. Mexico, they're figuring ways around us. They're not going to undo that unless we give them a reason, and at this point, what do we got? You've also got your American citizens. We have growing rates of cancer. We have growing rates of Alzheimer's, dementia. We're getting older. You think the insurance industry is just going to be like, no, hey, you know what? Trump's not in charge anymore. We'll become better. We'll give people back their premiums. Yeah. All the regulations that the administration has rolled back in this year alone, corporations will spend millions to make sure aren't put back in. We have a 20-year fight to get back to the point that we were at on Biden's last day. And not saying that Biden was great, but it's going to take us over 20 years to get back to where Biden was. I'm not scared of J.D. Vance. J.D. Vance is going to give tech everything they want. We're going to make the planet hotter and shittier, and we're going to make sure water wars really kick off more so than they already are in places like Texas. What is interesting is what comes after Vance. When AI finally goes bust, because like people are like, oh, the AI bubble's gonna burst. When it actually does, and that's probably closer to 4 to 5 years from now. When it actually does, what rises from the ashes of what was America, what comes out of a true depression in this country, will either be revolutionary and we will rewrite half the rules, or we will become Russia and people will roll up to a bakery with a wheelbarrow of dollar bills. The future is fucking bleak for like the next 20 years. J.D. Vance is not what I am most worried about. He is more logical than Trump. He is much more allegiance bribable to tech, so at least you know how we're gonna get screwed. The only real fear is if Erica Kirk gets her claws into him and we become a truly Christian nation. But Trump dying doesn't scare me. It's the last party this country's going to have for a decade easy. I hate to be the person to keep bringing this up, but everybody keeps on pretending like, oh, Trump dies, and then we elect a Democrat in 3 years, and everything's better. Whoever gets elected in 3 years, it better not be fucking Cory Booker. Whoever gets elected is going to be a one-term president, and they are going to have the shittiest job. We should elect a forensic accountant. We should elect the most motivational, let's do a job and let's do it for free because we love America. That's who we should elect. Nobody who's currently edging towards some kind of candidate run is gonna be successful, because cleaning up after the Trump administration it's gonna be like what happened to Bush Sr. after Reagan. You can't be successful when you are cleaning up that much dung. And after 4 years, corporations who have gotten everything they have ever wanted and every rule and regulation rolled back, they are not going to let that out of their claw. In my lifetime, I doubt we will get back to where we were. J.D. Vance is the least of our problems. The damage that has been done this year alone, Project 2025 is like 60% complete, and we don't even have the Epstein files yet.